Hello. So now we are going to discuss the remaining questions of the year 2017 GS paper 1 UPSC. The next question is, petroleum refineries are not necessarily located nearer to crude oil producing areas, particularly in many of the developing countries. Matlab, in many of the developing countries, these refineries are not particularly located close to the crude oil producing areas. Explain its implications. See, oil refining is a market oriented industry. The byproducts that are produced as a result of refining, they are used in multiple industries like chemical industry, fertilizer industry, pharmaceutical industry, paint industry, synthetic industry, plastic industry. Multiple industries are dependent on the refined products of refinery. So it is profitable to locate this industry close to the market, because if it is located in crude oil producing area, then all these products will have to be shipped to the market. That would enhance the logistic cost. तो it is, और दूसरी बात, crude oil can easily be transported to refinery by way of pipeline. Crude oil को तो हम आसानी से refinery crude oil can be easily transported to oil refinery by way of single pipeline. लेकिन refined products जो बहुत सारे होते हैं, to transport them to market will cost huge. So it is profitable and advisable to have oil refineries closer to the market. Moreover, if oil refineries are located closer to the market, it will not only reduce the logistic cost, that is cost involved in transporting the refined products, but it will also reduce the overwhelming dependence of oil refinery on a particular oil field. Oil field may get exhausted, but market will continue to exist. So why to locate a refinery close to crude oil producing areas? Because numerous limitations are there. Logistically it is costly, क्योंकि refined products को market तक भेजना पड़ेगा. दूसरा, crude oil को easily pipeline से तुम refinery तक भेज सकते हो. तीसरा, अगर वो oil field exhaust हो जाती है, लेकिन market तो हमेशा रहेगा, तो it is always beneficial to locate oil refinery closer to the market. दूसरी बात यह है कि जैसे initially suppose a refinery is located based on domestic crude oil production, but subsequently this domestic crude oil production may fall drastically short of national demand, जैसे इंडिया में हुआ है. only 15% of the domestic oil production fulfills only 15% of the domestic demand of the country. 85% of the crude oil is imported. So as any economy grows, pehle domestic production used to fulfill large amount of domestic demand, but as the economy grew, the demand increased and the domestic production fell short to supply the crude oil. In such case, a country has to depend on import of crude oil. Like India is importing 85% of its domestic need by way of import. So a country will have to resort to import of crude oil, and in case of import of crude oil, कोस्टल और मार्केट लोकेशन हैज एन इनहेरेंट एडवांटेज. कि जैसे इंपोर्ट होकर आया ऑन द लाइक जामनगर रिफाइनरी इज लोकेटेड ऑन द कोस्ट, it imports the crude oil, refines the product and fulfills the domestic demand. In addition to fulfilling the domestic demand, coastal location has an inherent advantage that these refined products are also exported to multiple countries that add to the forex earning of the country. रिफाइंड कोस्टल लोकेशन से रिफाइंड प्रोडक्ट्स को एक्सपोर्ट करना भी आसान है. तो मार्केट लोकेशन हैज डबल एडवांटेज. One, imported crude oil can easily be refined and fulfill the domestic demand, and secondly, it can also export the refined products to other countries, which can add up to the forex earning of the country. और इसके अलावा भी oil refineries require huge space. They require abundant quantities of water for refining process, and such huge space and abundant quantities of water may not be available in the oil producing regions. जहां oil extract किया जा रहा है वहां ये available ना हो. अच्छा, इसके implications क्या होते हैं? Implications are obvious. Basically it caters to the need of the domestic demand, लेकिन कुछ negative implications भी होते हैं. For example, take the case of Sudan. In Sudan, the southern Sudan had all the oil fields, but the refineries were located in northern Sudan. Why? Because northern Sudan was having coastal was sharing the coast of Red Sea. तो रेड सी की कोस्ट होने की वजह से द ऑयल क्रूड ऑयल कुड बी एक्सपोर्टेड और रिफाइनरीज वर लोकेटेड देयर. तो सदर्न Sudan had the oil fields, northern Sudan had the refineries. So the living standard of northern Sudan improved drastically as compared to southern Sudan. So people of southern Sudan felt infuriated, they felt neglected because they used to say that this resource belongs to us and northern Sudan is prospering on the basis of our resources and we are not even having adequate say in governance. This led to strife and ultimate separation of northern Sudan from southern Sudan. नॉर्दर्न सुडान में ऑयल रिफाइनरी लगाने के जोग्राफिकल रीजंस भी थे बिकॉज इट वाज शेयरिंग कोस्ट विद नॉर्थ सी, सॉरी शेयरिंग कोस्ट विद रेड सी. सदर्न सुडान इज लैंडलॉक कंट्री और उसके पॉलिटिकल रीजंस भी थे. नॉर्दर्न सुडान वाज लार्जर इन साइज, मोर पॉपुलेटेड, सो फॉर टू रीप द एडवांटेजेस ऑफ रिफाइनरी द रिफाइनरीज गॉट लोकेटेड इन नॉर्दर्न सुडान. और सदर्न सुडान ऑयल प्रोड्यूस करता था. So this fueled anger among the southern Sudanese that North Sudan has become prosperous by way of southern Sudan's resources. तो अल्टीमेटली उनमें झगड़ा हुआ, सिविल वॉर हुआ, वो सेपरेट हो गए. ऐसे ही कनाडा में, कनाडा इज हैविंग वर्ल्ड्स थर्ड लार्जेस्ट रिजर्व्स ऑफ ऑयल. बेसिकली अल्बर्टा प्रोविंस ऑफ कनाडा, huge oil reserves were discovered at Calgary and other locations. Alberta is having huge oil reserves. लेकिन जो पहली रिफाइनरी लगी दैट गॉट लोकेटेड इन सार्निया, दैट इज अलोंग द बॉर्डर ऑफ यूएसए, थाउजेंड्स ऑफ माइल अवे फ्रॉम अल्बर्टा. एंड एज अ रिजल्ट रिफाइनरी जहां लगेगी मल्टीपल इंडस्ट्रीज विल क्रॉप अप बिकॉज रिफाइनरी के जो बाय प्रोडक्ट्स होते हैं उस पर नंबर ऑफ इंडस्ट्रीज डिपेंड एंड दैट रीजन एंड द पीपल प्रॉस्पर. सो the people of Alberta province found that their resources are transported to distant areas and other people are reaping the benefit and they are being denied the right of enjoying the fruits of development. So agitation took place. Alberta is had tak chala gaya ki it said it wants separation from Canada, but late subsequently some refineries were located in Alberta to subdue their to fulfill their demands. अच्छा, तीसरा एक implication और है, जहां क्रूड ऑयल प्रोडक्शन होता है ना, जहां क्रूड ऑयल को एक्सट्रैक्ट किया जाता है, उसको एक्सट्रैक्ट करने के लिए ह्यूज पंपिंग ऑफ वाटर इज डन. पानी बहुत पंप किया जाता है. दैट ट्रिगर्स इंटेंस अर्थक्वेक. क्रूड ऑयल प्रोड्यूसिंग रीजन्स बियर द ब्रंट ऑफ ऑल इकोलॉजिकल इम्प्लीकेशंस ऑफ क्रूड ऑयल एक्सट्रैक्शन. और सबसे बड़ा तो है अर्थक्वेक. अब पोल्यूशन के अलावा अर्थक्वेक, दे बिकम अर्थक्वेक प्रोन एरिया. और जहां क्रूड ऑयल एक्सट्रैक्शन होता है इट्स नॉट सो प्रॉफिटेबल. So this creates regional disparity. जो क्रूड ऑयल प्रोड्यूसिंग एरियाज हैं जहां वो एक्चुअल में मिल रहा है, those areas are unable to reap the benefit, and those areas where refinery get located, they reap the benefit and they prosper quite quickly. So this location of this refinery away from crude oil producing areas may aggravate not only unrest in the region but also ecological and economic disparity among the regions. So this was the answer कि oil refineries crude oil areas producing areas से दूर लगाई जाती हैं in most of developing countries. Developing countries की वजह तो ये है कि most of developing countries do not have sufficient crude oil reserves, so mostly they are dependent on imported crude oil. So import होगा तो obviously coastal location of refinery will be advantageous because it will not only cater to the domestic demand, it will also export the refined products, adding to the forex reserves of the country. Now next question: in what ways floods be converted into sustainable source of irrigation? कैसे हम floods को इस sustainable source of irrigation में convert कर सकते हैं, and also in creating all weather inland navigation? ये क्वेश्चन एक तरीके से रिपीट है. क्वेश्चन आया था ना, हाउ इंटरलिंकिंग ऑफ रिवर कैन अवॉइड द मेनेंस ऑफ फ्लड्स, ड्रॉट्स एंड इनलैंड नेविगेशन. थोड़े दिनों पहले मैं डिस्कस किया था. 2-4 पॉइंट अलग हैं, बाकी रेस्ट ऑफ द बॉडी इज सेम. हाउ, इन व्हाट वेज फ्लड्स कैन बी कन्वर्टेड इनटू सस्टेनेबल सोर्स ऑफ इरिगेशन? ऑब्वियस सी बात है, बाय interlinking flood prone rivers, water surplus basins to water deficient basin, interlinking of river. So let us discuss this. In what ways floods can be converted into sustainable source of irrigation as well as all weather inland water navigation. See, if you take India overall, India receives 110 centimeter of average annual rainfall. But this begets the huge temporal and spatial disparity. 110 centimeter rainfall hai, but certain regions receive more than 1000 centimeter rainfall like in Meghalaya, and certain areas receive less than 30 centimeter rainfall like Rajasthan. So although overall rainfall हमारी 110 है, but because of huge temporal and spatial variation, this disparity is huge. 80% of the total rainfall occurs during wet monsoon season, June, July, August, September. This 4 wet monsoon season receives 80% of the rainfall, and during this season the Himalayan rivers are in floods because they are having the catchment area in Himalayas, and west flowing rivers from Western Ghats, they are also in floods. So how this abundant water that is received during peak rainfall season can be harnessed? ये जो surplus water ना, abundant water received during peak rainfall season, this can be harnessed to mitigate floods as well as to transform it into a source of irrigation and inland navigation. ये जो पीक रेनफॉल सीजन पे जो पानी रिसीव होता है, इट कैन बी हार्नेस टू मिटिगेट द मेनेंस ऑफ फ्लड्स एज वेल एज टू ट्रांसफॉर्म फ्लड्स इनटू बेसिकली सोर्स ऑफ इरिगेशन एंड inland water navigation by way of following measures. पहला, by adopting suitable rainwater harvesting technique. I discussed this previously also. Rainwater harvesting technique, how this rainwater that flows as surface runoff can be made to recharge the groundwater by way of various structures. Suitable rainwater harvesting techniques क्या है? Basically percolation tank, recharge trench, recharge pit, basically terrace farming, contour farming, check dams. Numerous measures are there. Large scale projects are also there to collect this surface water, and so that it may seep down in the it may be made to recharge the groundwater. Since once it is implemented on a large scale both in urban and rural areas, the suitable rainwater harvesting technique by way of creating these structures, the groundwater accounts for 60% of the total water used for irrigation. And if groundwater is further recharged by this flood water, the irrigation potential of the country by way of using groundwater can be significantly enhanced. सबसे बड़ी बात ये होती है, ग्राउंड वाटर में एक बार पानी सीप कर गया, यू कैन यूज इट एनी टाइम ऑफ द ईयर एट एनी प्लेस विद इन दैट ड्रेनेज बेसिन, विद इन दैट वाटर शेड. So if you make use of this flood water in recharging the groundwater, it can go a long way in extending the irrigation potential of the country and thereby enhancing the food security. Second, by constructing large storage reservoirs and storage system on major rivers which are in floods, like Ganga है, गंगा की tributaries है, राप्ती, यमुना, ये जितनी ब्रह्मपुत्र है its tributary, उनके ऊपर large storage reservoirs and storage system can be constructed that can hold the excess flood water during rainy season, that can capture the excess flood water. And तुमने देखा है गंगा during rainy season it is in floods, but during lean season it shrinks to its bottom. It's not navigable in every part. इतना कम पानी हो जाता है. If you construct large reservoirs and storage system on these major rivers which are in floods, this reservoirs will hold this surplus flood water, and that can be made, that this river can be made navigable throughout the year. And moreover, by robust canal system, these storage reservoirs can be connected to those rivers which are water deficient. So this water can also be transported to water deficient basins. And this robust system of canal and waterways can unlock the potential for all weather inland navigation. कई सारे फायदे हैं. बड़े बड़े रिजर्वायर्स बनाओ, अभी तक हमने नहीं बनाए हैं. फ्लड वाटर इंडिया में शायद ही कोई रिजर्वायर है जो फ्लड वाटर कंटेन करने के लिए होता है. वी हैव नॉट क्रिएटेड सच कैपेसिटी, चाइना हैज डन. We need to create large storage reservoir and water storage system which can capture the huge rainfall के time इतना ज़्यादा पानी आता है, it's very difficult to hold it. So we need to create massive structures स्टोरेज स्ट्रक्चर्स दैट कैन होल्ड द वाटर, तो उस रिवर की भी नेविगेबिलिटी साल भर बनी रहेगी, प्लस दिस सरफेस वाटर, दिस स्टोरेज स्ट्रक्चर्स कैन बी कनेक्टेड टू वाटर डेफिशिएंट रीजन्स बाय वे ऑफ कैनाल्स, जिससे कि इनलैंड वाटर नेविगेशन भी होगा और वाटर डेफिशिएंट रीजन्स में पानी भी मिलेगा। और इसके अलावा देयर इज अ टेंडेंसी, हमारे यहाँ जो वाटर बॉडीज हैं, वेदर वाटर बॉडीज इन फॉर्म ऑफ पॉन्ड्स, लेक्स, रिजर्वॉयर्स, ये वेटलैंड्स, बोथ इन रूरल एंड अर्बन एरियाज दे आर बीइंग एनक्रोच्ड, मतलब दे आर द वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट सोर्स ऑफ रिचार्ज ऑफ ग्राउंड वाटर एंड एब्जॉर्बिंग द सरप्लस फ्लड वाटर, जो देयर इज urgent need of restoration of water bodies and wetlands in both rural and urban areas so that they get recharged during flood. flood का surplus water बहुत हद तक वो absorb कर लेते हैं, and they maintain water resources. They not only recharge the groundwater but they can directly be used for irrigation during lean season. जो ये water bodies और wetlands हैं, they need to be protected, they need to be restored. उनको रिस्टोर करने की जरूरत है बहुत ज्यादा है, ताकि जो सरप्लस फ्लड वाटर है उसको एब्जॉर्ब भी किया जा सके एंड दैट कैन बी इफेक्टिवली पुट टू इरिगेशन बाय वे ऑफ मतलब डायरेक्टली यूजिंग द वाटर और बाय रिचार्जिंग द ग्राउंड वाटर। अच्छा, एग्रीकल्चर कैन बी मेड मोर सस्टेनेबल बाय वे ऑफ फ्लड बेस्ड फार्मिंग टेक्निक्स। जो फ्लड प्रोन एरियाज होते हैं वहां फ्लड बेस्ड फार्मिंग टेक्निक्स ऑलरेडी यूज की जाती हैं, ऐसा ही नहीं की जाती हैं, बट दे नीड टू बी प्रमोटेड। फ्लड बेस्ड फार्मिंग टेक्निक्स मेक यूज ऑफ सरप्लस फ्लड वाटर फॉर इरिगेशन। इन बिहार एंड आसाम फार्मर प्रैक्टिस ढाप कल्टीवेशन। ढाप कल्टीवेशन में क्या होता है, फ्लड वाटर इज डाइवर्टेड टू लो लाइंग फील्ड्स where the water gets collected, and in such waterlogged conditions jute and rice cultivation is done very effectively. So this was अब में बाकी पार्ट क्वेश्चन यू कैन बोरो फ्रॉम इंटरलिंकिंग ऑफ रिवर। अच्छा, नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन है कि व्हाट आर द कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स ऑफ मॉनसून। मॉनसून में ऐसी क्या खास बात है कि वो दुनिया की 50% पॉपुलेशन को फीड कर लेता है, जो कि मॉनसून एशिया में रहती है। नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज व्हाट आर द कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स, व्हाट कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स कैन बी असाइन टू मॉनसून क्लाइमेट। मॉनसून क्लाइमेट में ऐसी क्या खूबियां हैं that succeeds feeding more than 50% of world population living in monsoon Asia. Monsoon Asia है ना, you see monsoon Asia, you see this is monsoon Asia, South Asia, Southeast Asia and East Asia. This shaded portion is monsoon Asia. This is monsoon Asia, South Asia, Southeast Asia and this East Asia, eastern part of China. This is monsoon Asia. It is here that 50% of the world population live, and the question is demanding what are the characteristics of monsoon Asia that it is able to feed what are the characteristics of monsoon climate that succeed that it is able to feed 50% of world population living in monsoon Asia. See, one of the defining characteristics of monsoon climate is distinct seasonal rainfall. यहाँ पर डिस्टिंक्ट सीजन्स होते हैं, जैसे दुनिया में, बाकी दुनिया में केवल 2 ही सीजन होते हैं, विंटर एंड समर। मॉनसून क्लाइमेट इज द ओनली क्लाइमेट वेयर वी हैव 3 सीजन, विंटर, समर एंड रेनी सीजन. So one of the defining feature of monsoon climate is seasonal rainfall pattern. During wet season, monsoon Asia receives 80% of its total rainfall, and this rainfall is critical for supporting agriculture and replenishing water resource. Agriculture तो उस टाइम होगा ही. This rainfall also replenishes water resource which are essential for sustaining agriculture activity rest of the year. भाई 3-4 महीने ही बरसात होगी. So this rainfall is not only used for agriculture but also for sustaining agriculture activity for rest of the year. Monsoon climate is characterized by distinct seasons. Distinct seasons होते हैं, different crops produce होते हैं. The monsoon climate characterized by distinct season is this facilitates cultivation of various types of crops. कौन कौन से सीजन है? फल है. First season is cool dry season, that is November to February. This is the season when the winter monsoon blows from land to sea. This is the season when winter monsoon blows from land to sea, that is northeast monsoon. These are dry winds. अब just preceding this, just इससे पहले, heavy rainfall has also already taken place in June, July, September. So underground water bodies and surface water bodies are recharged. लेकिन in this season, cool dry season, that is November to February, there's no rain. Basically, it is season of winter monsoon, and these northeast monsoon are dry. They blow from land to sea. Farmers go for rabi crops in this season: wheat, oat, mustard, gram. These crops do not require much water, and these are cultivated with the help of groundwater. Groundwater, because the land has been recharged soon. इसके बाद आता है hot dry season. Hot dry season that is March to June. It is marked by extreme heat and aridity. Pani, water reservoirs, matlab pani is depleted. There's shortage of water. Is marked by sharp rise in temperature. Most of the areas are marked by aridity. So in this is a lean agriculture season. इसमें जायद crops are grown like watermelon, muskmelon, cucumbers. This is the lean season, lean agriculture season. फिर आता है rainy season from June to September, where bulk of the rainfall is received. Farmers in South Asia, Southeast Asia, and East Asia are ready to reap the benefit of heavy monsoon rainfall, because this is the season of most intense agriculture activity. Maximum arable land is put to cultivation and maximum agriculture production. The staple food crop rice is grown during rainy monsoon season. With the burst of southwest monsoon, farmers in South Asia, Southeast Asia, or East Asia are ready to reap the advantage of heavy monsoon and go for paddy cultivation on a large scale in flooded fields. This happens to be the most intense agricultural season when maximum arable land is put to cultivation and this season is characterized by maximum agricultural productivity. People in monsoon Asia have developed various adaptation strategies to cope with seasonal changes in monsoon climate. क्योंकि seasonal change होता है, accordingly people have developed various crops which are suitable to particular seasons. This adaptation, people in monsoon Asia has developed various adaptation strategies to cope up with seasonal changes in monsoon. This includes crop diversification, crop rotation, water management. South में basically tank irrigation होता है. They have developed tank irrigation because canals and groundwater cannot be used in the rocky terrain. Rainwater harvesting and building reservoirs. So this is how this monsoon climate is able to sustain 50% of world population living in monsoon Asia.